I'm a person that loves lists. I cannot pronounce the T on that. Lists. Anyway. What's up guys, it's Michaela and welcome back to my channel. So today's video, as in the title says, is about BMT not being as scary as you probably think. And if there's other ranchers watching this, I already know what you're probably going to say. The Air Force is this, the Air Force is that. I get it, we're not as physically intense, but that is one of the reasons why I joined the Air Force. Anyway, alright. You probably watched a lot of YouTube videos. I know I watched so many YouTube videos before I went to basic because that was probably the scariest aspect for me, was basic training. That was actually one of the reasons I considered not joining, is because I was terrified of basic training. The gas chamber, what's the food gonna be like, what's the bathroom situation. There were so many unanswered questions. So I really want to make this detailed video. It's probably gonna run a little long just to give you guys some answers if you were wondering. And I want to say, I went to basic August of 2018. However, that doesn't mean that this is not still relevant. Yes, things have changed, especially because of COVID. So if you know about that at all, please feel free to comment below. I'd love to know. But a lot of this is still going to be exactly the same. All right, the first thing I want to mention is food. First of all, the food was so good, honestly. Like, there was brand names, so Go Lean Crunch. I remember like the really good bagels and Philadelphia cream cheese, and there was bacon and eggs and pancakes and waffles and all these different things you could eat. There was a lot of fresh fruit. Even if you were a vegetarian, you'd be completely fine. There were a lot of options, and it was pretty good quality in my opinion. So it's not like you're eating like freaking slop or something. It's really good quality food. They gotta keep you well fed because you are burning a lot of calories throughout the day. Second option is, can you go to the bathroom whenever you want? Yes, you can go whenever you want. And if you are in class, which I'm going to touch on how much class we have, you don't have to raise your hand and interrupt everybody and be like, oh, can I go to the bathroom? You're not in 3rd grade. You can literally just take a wingman and go to the bathroom. You do have to take a wingman wherever you go in basic. And really that is for your safety, because unfortunately, a few years back, probably more than a few, about 13 years ago now, there was a big sexual assault scandal that happened in basic training. There was unfortunately a lot of victims. So they implemented this rule really just for your safety. So you got to bring a wingman wherever you go. Next thing, sorry, I'm taking notes. I took notes for this. 3, going back to the class, there is a lot of class in basic training, and that was something I was not really prepared for. And there is a test that you have to take at the end. So you really want to pay attention. It's not a hard test by any means, but if you're absolutely zoning out the entire time, you do have the possibility of failing. So you want to make sure that you know the information that's being taught to you, which is pretty much Air Force history, how to be an airman, different things as far as like what are the Air Force core values, what's the Air Force creed, different things you're gonna learn through basic. So try not to be overwhelmed right now. If you don't know a single thing, that's completely fine. They're gonna teach you. Number 4 is you don't have to be super fit to join. I talked about this in my BMT for females video that I did, and I wanna touch on that again. If you are somebody that really hasn't run at all, you don't know how to do a push-up, you don't know how to do a pull-up, which is completely fine because you don't have to know how to do a pull-up to pass the PT test. Pull-ups aren't even a component on the PT test. So they really make basic training for the lowest common denominator. So really, you do not have to know how to do that at all. The program is set up, you work out 6 times a week, 3 days are cardio, 3 days are strength, and it's really about how much can you do. So I think in the first week, you only have to do maybe 5 push-ups, and that's literally nothing. They're gonna teach you how to do it. They will correct you if you're doing it wrong. So don't worry, if you're not physically fit, they're gonna get you fit. As long as you're not past the weight limit, which I think obviously there is one to be able to join in the first place, as long as you're below the weight limit, if you still don't know how to do a push-up, you're good. Number 5 is, will they take care of you if you have medical issues? And the answer is yes. I had a severe UTI my first day in basic. It was literally horrible. It's one of the only time I cried maybe 3 times in basic, and that was one of them. So that was the first thing I told my MTI, was that I had this UTI. They sent me to medical. The doctors took care of me. They gave me the antibiotics. I did not get med holded. I was literally back to BMT that same day, but they took care of me, made sure I was good. Now, that isn't always going to be the case. If you are somebody that has something severely wrong with you that they find out about, you do have the possibility of either getting kicked out of basic or getting med holded, which means you're basically moved to other dorms and put on hold until they figure out what's wrong with you and you're able to resume training. That was an intense fear of mine because I did not want to be there longer than I needed to. But don't sacrifice your health for the sake of just trying to push through. If you broke your ankle, obviously you're not going to be able to march, run, or do anything on a broken ankle. They're going to have to take care of it, and you're probably going to have to sit some weeks out. But that is fine. Also, there are so many people on crutches at basic. So even if you broke your ankle, they probably would still let you graduate. I don't know all the standards and rules. Literally, it's different for every person. It's different for every MTI and whoever doctor you get. Like, it's all different. But there was a lot of people on crutches for, like, what was it, stress fractures and like shin splints. They would legit give people crutches. And so if you have something wrong with you, don't be afraid to get it checked out if it's really, really bothering you, because you don't want to sacrifice your own health for the Air Force. Number 6 is the gas chamber. This was the thing actually keeping me from joining because I was terrified of the gas chamber. You might have seen the videos on YouTube, but it's intense. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that it didn't suck, because it did. I was an element leader, which is a leadership position, so we were the first ones to go into the gas chamber, which was actually good because the gas was less potent in the air. So if you get the chance to go in first, go in first. So for me, it is different for every person. I opened my eyes and I was completely fine, but it just affected my breathing. So, you know, they make you do your reporting statement, which is like, "Sir, trainee Whiteley reports as ordered." And they make you say that in the gas chamber. Of course, you're not gonna be able to say that whole sentence without coughing a lung up, which happened to me. It's the weirdest sensation. You're literally in this room. It smells like pepper. Like, it literally smells like pepper and chemicals. It's just really weird. And the air is clear, just like the room I'm in now. And then they make you take off your mask. And then I could feel like the top layer of my face burning. And then they make you say it. And immediately I just start choking. There's no oxygen in the air. It's intense. And before you know it, you're out of there. It's really not long at all. And you're gonna be so happy once you finish, like, fuck yeah, I just did the gas chamber. That's at least how I felt. So they make you go out, you walk out like this. You can't don't touch your eyes. They'll tell you that. You gotta strip from all the chem gear that you're wearing to make sure that the gas doesn't get on anything, and they're gonna make you go through the whole wash cycle. You're gonna finish really fast. So don't let the gas chamber freak you out to the point where you don't join, because there are so many benefits of the military. Let me just say, the military is not for everybody. I'm not sitting on this channel being like, oh, the military is full of, unicorns and rainbows. No. There are really bad parts of the military, and I am not re-enlisting, which I would probably make a video about that. But let me tell you, the Air Force has literally changed my life in ways that I couldn't have done without it. So there are tons of benefits. Don't let the gas chamber scare you from joining. Number 7 is Beast Week. So Beast Week, I went to basic training in August to October. It was hot as fuck in Texas, right? Beast Week, they put you on a bus. You're still on Lackland, but it's on like the way other side of Lackland, a place like you can't march to. We actually had to go off the base, which is the first time you go off the base in 6 weeks. And I know for the new basic training structure, the timeline is kind of different. But so you got to base, and it's basically a deployment simulation. And I know people who have deployed, and the environment was a lot better than Beast. Every deployment's different. Anyway, in Beast Week, the tents are air conditioned, so that was nice. It's pretty much like a round cylinder. It's not like a little tent you see on like Camp Laszlo. It's literally like a cylinder. there's like tons of cots, and they give you a sleeping bag, and that's what you sleep in, no pillow. So we just took like our jacket or something and then just like used that as a pillow. Honestly, I had no problem sleeping, but I can pretty much sleep anywhere. Really fun parts of Beast were getting to go to Cadam, which is where you get to shoot a real gun, and that was super awesome. I had some shooting experience because my dad owns a lot of guns and I've been to the shooting range before, so I did get some practice before I joined. However, you don't have to know shit to be able to obviously join, right? So they're going to teach you everything. Even if you are someone that's super highly trained, they're still going to teach you. You're still going to have to sit through everything, and they take it very seriously because obviously if you mess up, someone can die. You are shooting live rounds. It's not a fake gun. So it was super, super fun. I loved that part. You do eat MREs for breakfast and lunch every day that you're there. Those are disgusting, won't lie. I don't like processed foods, like at all. I don't even like eating things from cans, as far as like soup. I eat like beans from a can, right? But I just don't like the taste of processed foods. I don't like that chemically, it just does not taste good. But I had to eat something, and that was all that was provided for me for breakfast and lunch. So I ate at MREs, got up super early. It smelled really bad in the summer because it's right next to a landfill. But the dinner at Beast was the best meal of basic training because people were actually like grilling, and there was real Gatorade because the Gatorade that they give you in the dorms is like watered down Gatorade. It like doesn't taste like anything, but this was real Gatorade with like all the sugar. It was so good. The portions they give you were legit. They had like, I think macaroni and like ribs one night. Like it was really good food at Beast for dinner, not breakfast and lunch. Dinner was amazing. It was really dusty. I remember that. Like, obviously every time of year you go is going to be different because if you go in the winter, you're going to have a different experience than I went in the, dead heat of summer. There's also different flag conditions. So because it was so hot, there were things we couldn't do for our safety. Like we couldn't get into our whole mop gear because we probably would have all passed out and overheated. And the obstacle course. The obstacle course is fun. If you're a person that likes stuff like that, like I do, I love being outside. It was a lot of fun for me. And the parts that I was like not super looking forward to were digging your head in the sand and like crawling up a hill. Me and my best friend were just like, screw it. Like we're only here once, right? BMT is the most fun you never want to have again. So we just embraced everything. Like we volunteered for tent guard duty. It felt like I was like chilling on a front porch a Friday. It was literally so fun, honestly. Like just reminiscing about it. There's parts of me that miss it, but like I said, I would never want to do it again. Like I would never. That was a one-time deal. But it was really fun. Number 8 is phone calls. So you do use your own cell phone. So there's no pay phones anymore. This isn't 1980. They keep all your phones in like this box, like a plastic box that is kept downstairs. It's locked away. You don't even know where it is, obviously, right? So they let you use your own phone. Everything's turned off. So they're going to give you time to power it on before they start your call time. And if you have bills or anything you need to pay, that is the time you can do it. If you talk to your MTIs, more often than not, they will let you have extra time to be able to, pay your bills and check your bank accounts and do all of that. At least mine did. Please don't get caught going on things you're not supposed to. Don't go on Snapchat. Don't go on Facebook. I know it's going to be hella tempting because at least for me, my phone was blowing up. When I turned that shit on, like, I had so many notifications because you haven't checked your phone in like 4 weeks. We did get a lot of calls. And let me say, please open up to your MTIs. I know that they can be scary and they're gonna yell at you and their whole purpose is to build you as an airman, break you down, all of that. But please open up to them because if you have a family crisis, say you get a letter and someone tells you that your mom is really sick or something happened, communicate with them about that because that happened to a girl on my flight and they let her call home, make sure everything was okay. When a hurricane hit Florida, they let us call our families to make sure they were all set. So really you just want to be open with them because like I said, they can be really scary, but their whole purpose there is to build you as an airman. and they can and they will support you the best that they can. So even if they scare you, try to be as open. Number 9 is you get to go shopping for the things that you need. So don't feel like you need to bring 8.5 weeks worth of stuff in your bags, because you get the opportunity to go shopping quite a bit. And if you're a girl, that's, like tampons and all of that. And, for guys too, shampoo, body wash, all of that. So you do have the opportunity. And you can bring your own skincare products. I brought my own moisturizer and face wash because I had a specific type that I liked. And that is 100% okay. You can still wash your face. You still have time to shave your legs. Like, there's some misconceptions about basic. Like, you have absolutely no freedom. And while, yeah, you lose a lot of it because you're in a training environment, you still get to do basic things, right? You're not going to go 8.5 weeks without shaving your legs if you're a girl. Or if you're a guy and you like that, you'll get to shave your legs. Number 10 is about free time. So you do get free time, believe it or not. And you don't have those outside distractions like phones or a good book, so there's not a lot of things to do. So I spent my free time writing letters and making lists. I'm a person that loves lists. I cannot pronounce the T on that. Lists. Anyway. Oh my god. I spent a lot of my time writing letters. I received a lot of letters from my family, my friends, so that is the time I spent writing letters. Also, volunteer for EC duty at night. To backtrack, EC is entry controller duty. Basically, you and another person are going to be standing at the door with your fake gun that they issue you. And you're basically making sure that whoever you let in the door has a reason to enter. They're gonna show you their ID, and there's this whole process that you have to go through. Well, somebody in your flight will be assigned EC monitor, which means they're going to create the schedule. You only do EC like when you're not in class or at official appointments. So whenever you're just in the dorm, someone's going to be on EC. At night, when everybody's sleeping, somebody's going to be on EC. However, they're only 1-hour shifts, so it's really not that bad. I always volunteered for night because that was the only quiet time that I got in 8.5 weeks. And I'm a person where I really need my me time. So I volunteered for night. It'd be like 2 a.m. Somebody wakes you up, and you get up, you grab your gun out of the locker, and then you guard the door. It's literally what you do. And when it's at night, you don't have to worry about anybody testing you on the procedures. Nobody's getting up and walking around. I literally just got to write letters and have some quiet time. Number 11. If you're scared about basic and that's the only thing stopping you from joining, please just join, right? Basic is not that bad. I hope this video kind of made you realize that and answered some of those questions and addressed some of those concerns, because I promise you, you're gonna be so proud of yourself when you graduate. I know I was. The first time, you see your family, I remember marching out, and I had to try not to cry when I first made eye contact with my mom, because it was such a powerful moment, right? Like, I left just, this girl that, had no real responsibility, and I was, chilling with my friends and doing everything an 18-year-old does. And then now they're seeing me in a uniform as an airman. So it was super awesome. I was super proud of myself. And not to mention the check. I never had money like that. I worked at Chick-fil-A, made like $8.50 an hour, and worked like 4 hours a week. Legit. So seeing that kind of money in my account for the first time was awesome. There's a lot of positives. So I would just recommend that if this is the only thing stopping you from joining, just do it. Okay? If there's other reasons, I'm not here to try and convince you to join, because you got to make your own choices. But if the only thing stopping you is your fear of basic, please don't let that stop you. And if you have any questions that I did not answer, please feel free to comment below. It can legit be anything. There are no limits. I don't care what it is. I will respond. But I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you like more videos like this and you want me to make other videos about the Air Force, please let me know. I really just started this channel, so feedback is great. And thank you guys for watching. you.